and everything. So Transformers. So I know that you played Starscream, the best Decepticon ever in history.
I agree with you, my dear. A woman of taste, obviously.
But you've also played an Autobot like Heatwave and a lot of Autobots and robots in disguise, such as Wars and stuff and everything. So I was wondering, is it more fun to play a Decepticon or an Autobot?
They're both fun to play, but personally, lately, I prefer to be a Naughty-Con. It's really awesome. I like them for different reasons. Rescue Bots is also amazing. We have incredible casts on both, and for me, the fun is really working with the other cast members. And
I saw that.
yeah, and even though it's a kid's show, Rescue Bots. Do you guys know Rescue Bots?
Yeah.
Rescue Bots. Even though it's a kid's show, behind the scenes, it's really naughty. So even though I'm an Autobot, I'm still a Naughty-Con there. So it's fun, and I get to say, "Roll to the rescue!" You know, that's kind of a. What was that?
Optimus Prime, Rescue Bot.
Yeah, kind of. Well, he does show up. Optimus Prime does join
I've
us.
seen every episode of season 1. I'm excited to see season 2 soon. And who's going to be tomorrow is Cody, so.
What was that?
I'm going to be Cody, dressed up as Cody tomorrow. So
Awesome.
I'll see you.
Awesome.
Something for you tomorrow.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
I'll give you a picture.
Okay. Thank you. Hello.
The only time that I heard of you was from Toonami, where you voiced Tom Egerton.
Only Toonami, baby.
I've been a fan of the whole Toonami block since I was 12, 10, 12, give or take. And I'm so glad that it's back. And my question to you is, are you glad that Toonami is back, even though it's on Adult Swim?
Oh yeah. I mean, any chance to be Tom again is amazing. And I have Sarah back in a different form, but I have Sarah back. And yeah, Solution is back. I mean, it's like coming home, really. It was a hard 4 years being off the air. None of us were sure that it was coming back. So when it did, it was a big, happy surprise. And I love doing it every Saturday night. I mean, before the show goes on the air every Saturday night, I don't know if you guys are on Twitter, but I still tweet about it. I'm just as excited as you guys are to see it back on the air. It's nice to have it for a whole new generation, because it really was one of the defining things of a generation. I found out later on. I didn't know while we were doing it, but it was an important part of my history and a lot of yours, apparently. So, yeah. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for watching.
Midnight Run, Rising Sun, best blocks ever, just saying. I think my question is, what do you think your most memorable recording session was? Like by the series?
By the series?
Yeah.
Which series was the most memorable?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's so hard to say. So hard to say. There's so many. I've been doing this for like 20 years, dude. So, I mean, every week there's something different. I'm working with a lot of my heroes now. I mean, on Transformers Prime, I was working with Peter Cullen and Frank Walker, and they're two of my heroes. That was amazing. I mean, and all of my friends in the business are also my heroes. They're just incredible. So it's like I'm fanboying during every session. Literally, just sitting back and watching these guys create these characters, it's an incredible thing to behold. I mean, as excited as you guys get about the show, I'm that excited sitting in the room with them. So to pick one out, I couldn't even tell you which one is my favorite. I mean, there's certain moments that stand out, and anything on Transformers Prime, of course, was huge. Anytime Peter Cullen would say, "Roll out," you know, it's crazy. It's just crazy. And working with Frank Walker for the first time on Scooby-Doo was an amazing thing. And getting to say, you know, if it weren't for those meddling kids, I don't even remember which voice I did, but that was pretty crazy too. So I have those moments all the time, and it never gets old. So, man, I don't even know. I couldn't pick one. But thanks for the question. Awesome.
Hi, Steve. It's nice
Hello.
to meet you again. My question is, again, you mentioned behind the scenes and stuff. I want to know, has there ever been a very memorable prank that one of your fellow voice actors or fellow directors has played upon you while recording?
So many. So, yeah. One of the ones in recent memory wasn't even that much of a prank, but I was trying to deliver a line in one of the rare instances, and it keeps going back to Transformers. That's the theme tonight. I don't know why. But I was doing one of the rare moments where Starscream is actually having sort of an introspective, tender moment, and Darren Norris, who played Knockout on the show, who's also Spotswood from Team America, if you guys have seen that.
Yeah.
Wrong. Darren is just wrong. But he's standing next to me, and I'm trying to deliver this moment, and I'm kind of getting into my head, and I look next to me, and Darren's standing there, and he's a little bit taller than me, and he's got some string cheese that he's torn apart into 2 pieces, and he shoved 1 piece up each nostril, and he's standing there waving them at me. Yes, I'm trying to deliver my line. It blew the line, the whole room caught wind of it, and the whole session just tanked after that. It was just awful. But there's been gropings, there's been, it's just unbelievable stuff. Yeah, that's one of the more recent things. Yeah, I got groped by the director's girlfriend in a booth once, and coughed snot all over the window in front of me, and yeah, so many good times.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
I met you at Nekocon. I was Mugen. I had Gata on and everything. It was awesome.
Nice.
But I wanted to ask, who would win a fight, Mugen or Spike Spiegel?
Spike could probably just shoot him. Walk away with smoking a cigarette. He wouldn't even bother fighting. Yeah, he would. Yeah. Thank you for the question. Awesome. Okay, man. I feel the same way. It's good.
My question is for you. What was did you ever have trouble voicing your lines for Black Ops 1 Zombies by any chance for Tank Dempsey?
Did I have trouble voicing the lines?
Not trouble, like did you have you had to try to stop yourself from laughing as speaking your lines?
I have to stop myself from laughing for every line, dude. It doesn't matter what the show is. Yeah, for Tank, especially because the lines were so ridiculous. Are you guys familiar with Black Ops? Yeah. Here, let me give you a little sample for those of you who aren't familiar. These are the clean ones. If I have some Tank here. It's all so filthy. Yeah, I can't say dirty stuff now, right? I have to wait till after hours. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to censor this. Oh, I know you aren't laughing at me! I'll swim in your skin, maggot whores! That's not too bad, right? You just got dead flesh on my new boots! Yeah, so that's the kind of stuff we did, and it was fun. It was more painful than anything because it was all screaming. I mean, I don't think Tank ever spoke. I mean, every word is but when you're fighting zombies, that's kind of what you got to do. So, splattering gut bags, baby. It was nice. Thank you.
I grew up with Tom and Toonami, of course, and Spike Spiegel, I think, was the first role that I knew your name, and that would probably be my favorite just because of nostalgia. Do you have a favorite role altogether, and if not, what's your favorite recent role?
Yeah, I always say this, whatever I'm playing that day. So Monday I could be Soldier A, I could be Woman B, whatever that is going to be my favorite role in that moment because I have to really invest myself. And some of the iconic ones like Spike and Wolverine and Starscream and those kinds of things stick out in my mind just because people are so passionate about it. But some of my favorite roles are the little tiny parts that no one even remembers, or on smaller shows. There's a show called Gurren Lagann, which... So you guys know that show. And there's a character named Leron on that show. And Leron, he's not a huge character for a lot of people. Some people apparently is. But, Leron would say things, when you screw it in, give it a hard, manly twist, hon. And, when I'm used to playing things like Wolverine, and I'm talking down here and being a badass, and then I get to be Leron.
He's kind of a badass in his own way, but his superpower is just making people uncomfortable.
So that brings me a certain amount of joy, and when I see even, people in the booth, like the director, my friend Tony Oliver, sitting in his chair and I'm delivering a line, and I see him going, oh, that was so bad, that was so, oh, I gotta go wash, let's take 5. That brings me an incredible amount of joy, so those kind of moments are my favorites, really. Thank you.
All right, I think I remember hearing you as Vincent in Last Exile, am I correct?
Probably.
I remember hearing you in there. If you were in there, how did you enjoy working on him? Would you reprise his role in Family with the Silver Sky?
I would reprise the role that anybody pays me for. That was one of those shows, I guess I did work on it. I don't really remember. It was one of those shows where they probably called me in at the last minute. I probably didn't know much about the show. I was probably in and out in 2 hours and never really even knew the context of what I was saying. So I'm glad it worked for you, but I really don't remember, and I don't watch most of the stuff that I work on, so I don't have much memory of that. But I remember it being a pretty show. It was really beautifully animated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, that part I got right.
And I have one more question. If you could turn into one of the characters that you voiced, who would you turn into, and what would your reaction be?
Oh my God. I think I have turned into several of my characters. I don't know. It changes from day to day. My mood changes from day to day. So whatever character I would turn into would be different, even momentarily. I mean, I once played a landscape of poop. And that was awesome, because I never thought I'd get to actually be a landscape made out of poop. And, so for 4 hours I was going... To get to do that, I mean... Who wouldn't want to be that? I mean, honestly. Thanks.
Hi.
Hi.
I've been a big fan of yours since Cowboy Bebop to LaRon and Gurren Lagann to Ghost Freak and Ben 10. But one game I noticed that you were in that I didn't catch till the end credits, and me and my friend are both huge fans of this game. What was it like voicing Killer Croc in Batman Arkham Asylum?
Working on anything Batman is awesome, because I'm a fan. I spent a couple of years of my early years sorting comic books in my grandfather's bookstore, and so the Batman comics were, some of the things that was my first influence in, this type of art form. And so to get to do anything on those shows is, a geekgasm for me. And to play a character like Croc, who is, pretty vicious, and I think it was one of the few characters. My son Jeremy's here. I think you said that was one of the few things that actually freaked you out a little bit, right? Yeah, and nothing phases him. He's seen me do everything. And I used to try to scare him and freak him out when he was younger, and I'd do all these horrible things. And Croc, he actually said that when he was playing the game, it kind of freaked him out a little bit, and I went, yeah. Finally. That was that character, right? Yeah, I thought so, yeah. So that was the thing that gave me the most joy, is that I actually freaked him out a little. Yeah, tick-tock, time to feed the Croc.
Hey, Mr. Blum.
Hello? Steve, please, he's Mr. Blum.
It's great seeing you again. I met you before at Nekocon.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
So, my question to you is this. Recently I got Batman Arc Origins, and guess who I found out voiced Electrocutioner?
Who might that have been?
I don't know, Bob.
Did you enjoy it?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I just respect you for how you do it. It's awesome.
Thanks, I got my butt kicked bad in that one too, huh? Did you catch my other character in that?
Croc?
No, I didn't play Croc in that. A lot of people don't know this. It was the guy with the Santa hat.
Yeah.
Yes. You know him, the guy who was hanging the guy that was hanging upside down?
Yeah. Ruthless LeBanc?
I don't know what his name was. They just called him Santa Hat. But when he's hanging from the clock tower.
Yeah. Now.
Oh man! He drops the guy. That was me.
And how Batman went back to DCP and interrogated him?
What was that?
And how when Batman went back to the building, he interrogated him?
Yes.
I knew that was you.
No, he didn't. Just caught you. Awesome, man. Thanks for playing.
No problem.
All right.
Hi.
Hi.
I know this is probably one of the not one of the animes you get mentioned often, but you played Onizuka in Great Teacher Onizuka. And
Yes.
here's my question to you. You had to talk to yourself in that anime in one particular scene. How often do you find yourself talking to yourself?
I talk to myself in the car every day. I talk to myself all the time. I always have. It's just been one of the things I've done. I don't know. Do you guys talk to yourselves? Yeah. Oh, you do? Okay, I don't feel so bad. See, this is why I love cons, because I feel like we're all family here, and we can sort of commiserate with all the weird stuff that we do. So, yeah, I talk to myself all the time. So, it's natural for me. I know that for some actors, it's kind of weird to do that. I love it, because it's like home. And I have all the answers. Why not? Why not just have the conversation with myself? Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, it's fun. That was a naughty show. Principal and the principal and the things that he sniffed.
My question is, was it hard for you to get into any of your roles as a voice actor?
Was it hard to get into any of my roles, just emotionally?
In any way?
No, I don't think so. I've always been sort of an organic actor. I never had any formal training. So all I know is to look at a picture of a character or listen to the director's description, and I go, okay, and I just dive right in, and I just do whatever first thing that comes to my weird brain. And sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong, and the director will direct me how they want it. But it's such an organic process. It happens instantaneously, and it kind of has to. Because for all of you aspiring voice actors, when you're preparing for a role and you go into a studio and you think you're going to be doing the role you prepared for, guess again, because chances are they're going to throw 3 or 4 other things at you that you weren't expecting. And it could be different dialects, it could be different genders, it could be a little kid or a creature or, anything. And so you just have to be prepared to snap on the dime and jump right in. So it has to be something that you can do that quickly. So there really is no preparation. It's not like being on camera where you have those moments you can get into character and you spend time with that and you get into their head. There's none of that. It's basically, here's a script, this is what you look like, go. And that's it. And then hopefully you do something pretty decent. So it's kind of an improv gig. Thank you. Question?
Hello.
Hi, you look awesome.
Oh, thank you. It's such an honor to see you here.
And you. I love that. I live for that squeak.
Actually, I really just had a line request, unless you like it.
Oh, let's see. If I remember it, I will.
Do you remember your character Grunt from Mass Effect?
Yes.
Can we hear I Am Krogan?
Yes. Now, Grunt, just so you know, they did pitch me down, so I would go as low as I could go, and then they would...
That's fine.
Okay.
That's an amazing line.
I am Krogan!
Thank you so much. You are amazing.
Straight to the face, Shepard. Hey.
All right. Before I heard you introduce yourself, my question was going to be, how do you pronounce your last name?
Yes. It's Blum today.
Okay, gotcha. Actually, I have 2 questions. Of all the voice actors you work with, like Frank Welker, Rob Paulson, Nolan North, who did you enjoy working with most?
They're all my buddies. They're like family. Honestly, they're like family to me. And I like them all for different reasons, except Nolan. He's a butthole. No, I love Nolan. He's one of my dearest buds. I love them all for different reasons, and they're all so incredibly gifted and kind. And the great thing about the voiceover community is that everybody's really nice. So there's nobody I don't like, really. And getting to know Rob Paulson since you mentioned Rob, getting to know him these last couple of years has really been exciting and wonderful for me, because I was such a fan of his for so long. from Pinky and the Brain and Animaniacs and all those great shows. Maurice LaMarche also. I'm working with Maurice LaMarche now on Rescue Bots. And to work with these iconic guys that, you know, I should say I grew up listening to. I'm almost as old as they are, but I kind of did because I'm sort of, you know, emotionally held back that way. But working with these guys who I've admired for so long is really an exciting, wonderful thing, and especially when you find out that they're really nice people is the best part about it. And they're great, and they're really, really kind, wonderful people who I choose to hang out with. They're my friends. So the list would take the next 4 hours to go through of all the people that I love working with, and I don't love working with anyone any more than the next, except Nolan North. But Nolan, you know I love you. Hi, you too.
And my other question was, as a massive fan of the Spectacular Spider-Man, I gotta ask, can I get a little bit of Green Goblin?
Yeah, you know, I have some Green Goblin written because I haven't done him for so long, so I have to refer to my cheat sheet. It's shameful, I know, but I don't have to remember anything, so I don't. Okay. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, you're really beginning to bug me. All I want is your undying loyalty. Oh, the dying kind. The Green Goblin is nothing if not flexible. Almost head rush doing that laugh. All the blood went to my tongue. Go ahead. Hi.
Hello, I'm a big fan of all your work. It's just amazing what variety you do and whatnot. But I'm especially a fan of your Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy VII Advent. But my sister Narina is an even bigger fan than I am. Could you perhaps tell her you love her as Vincent?
Marina?
Narina.
Oh, Narina.
Yes.
Narina, I love you. Can I borrow your phone? Can I borrow your phone?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're awesome.
No, you.
All right, my question is, well, it's more like I've been a fan of you for a long time, all right, and you're the reason why I kind of want to become a voice actor. And I was wondering, how hard was it for you to start out, you know, doing the voice acting thing, and what inspired you to do so?
Well, I did it by accident. My story is not like most people's in the industry. A lot of people really wanted to be a voice actor or be an actor of some kind. I wanted to be a musician, and I wasn't very good at it. I was a rhythm guitar player for an R&B band in the 80s. And
what was it?
What was that?
What was it?
We went under a bunch of different names. We were first called The Race. We were a 15-piece stage band with a horn section and background singers. I was in spandex and long hair. And it was, and we were pretty good. I wasn't very good, but we were pretty good as a band. Yeah, we went under International Love Affair. That was another name of the band. We were called Magnetic at one time. We kept changing our name. My partner was crazy. And he kept changing. After we did a stage show, we would have all this choreography worked out, all these horn charts worked out. We finally felt sort of comfortable about it. We'd do it one night, and then he changed the whole thing, and the name of the band, and fire half the band every time. So he loved changing stuff up like that. So that career didn't work out. So while I was trying to nurture that, I was working a day job at a low-budget film company, and I started out as a runner in the mailroom, just doing these horrible jobs. And the head of the mailroom happened to be casting an anime, and he needed a creature voice, and I happened to have the deepest voice in the mailroom. So he asked me to come in and audition for it, and all I had to do at first was just kind of go, and I could do that better than most of the other guys in the room, I guess. And I could do it to match the lip flaps because of the music training, so it's sort of a musical thing. And so I just started doing it, and they hired me for 26 episodes. They gave me a speaking role. It was a show called The Guyver. And I ended up getting the role of the big bad guy in that, and I didn't even know that I was acting. So I just was doing it for fun on the weekends, and because they paid me a little bit and they fed me, and I was really hungry. And so I just did it for fun, and then, like 15 years later, I found myself doing a 7-Eleven commercial and hating my job, and I thought, well, I want to do this full time. And so I did, and I jumped ship and I started doing it full time, and then I didn't eat for a year, practically. Lived on credit cards, and it's a rough business. So I didn't intend to be a voice actor, but I learned how to do it over the course of 15 years. So it's not what I would recommend to anybody else. There's a faster way of doing it, and probably a less painful way of doing it. But that's what worked for me. But if you go on my website, there's a lot of links to the right way to go about it, and that'll guide you in the right direction if that's something you want to do.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Two questions.
Yes.
Question number one, why wasn't Arachnid, the Decepticons, or any of the human characters in Predacons Rising?
It wasn't up to me. If it was, they would have been. I loved Arachnid. I thought it was a great character, and I loved all the humans, too. The writers do what writers do, and we have nothing to do with any of that stuff. We're just actors, and they hire us if we're lucky, and we come in and do the stuff that they write for us, and we have no control.
Because I was expecting to see some zombies or something. Like the last time we saw her, she turned into a zombie. I thought she was like on fight Nekocon, then they had to fight him or something.
Yeah, well, maybe they would have done that had they gone on for another season. I don't know, but since the show got canceled, thank you. Yeah, we didn't get to do that. Yeah, it's not up to us, and we don't know what the greater plan is. They're doing other things now, so we're all a little sad about it.
And my second question is, I know you don't have anything to do with this, but just your opinion. Why don't shows like Transformers Prime or Teen Titans continue under a different name? Because we had this little screwy 65 episode limit, so why not continue it under a new name? Pokemon and Power Rangers have been doing it for years.
I'd be willing. I'd work on it if they'd hire me. I don't know. Well, a lot of it has to do, they could do it under a different name, and I don't know what the reason for not doing that is.
Transformers Multiverse or something?
Yeah, especially when it's a successful franchise like that. But a lot of these shows are based on toy sales, unfortunately. Things like Transformers, the funding for these shows comes from toy sales, and if the toys are too expensive to produce, they have to go to a different type of animation, or they have to create more characters, and if those characters don't work within that universe, they have to do a completely different show. Sometimes they're going for a different demographic. They watch these trends, and they actually have to sell to the demographic that's paying the bills. It's a business like anything else.
I read that that's what happened to Aesthetic Shop. They couldn't get a toy deal or something, so that's not...
Probably, yeah. I'm not privy to that kind of stuff, but that probably is the case. Yeah, it's a business. It's not just, playtime all the time.
Hello,
Thank you.
Steve.
Hi.
I am such a huge fan. I've watched you since I was 16 on Adult Swim and Cowboy Bebop, and you're the reason why I'm here. I have such a problem with crowds that you inspired me to come here and meet you and just enjoy what everybody has here at the convention and to break out of my shell. And I just love all the work you do. Could you say something for me?
I would say anything for you. that touches my heart. Will you guys give her some love, please? How may I be of service to you?
Anything in Spike Spiegel that can be encouraging.
Well, for one thing, I love the kind of woman that can kick my ass.
And I have to say, I was playing Diablo 3, and you make the wicked Zoltan cool.
Oh, thank you.
And my boyfriend totally wants to hear you talk some Zoltan cool trash.
Zoltan Cool track. I don't know if I have any Zoltan Cool. Wow. Might have to do that at the next con. I haven't prepared that. He was also a character that they affected the voice on, right?
I think so.
Yeah, he's basically, for you guys who don't know, Zoltan he's this character, basically his head was carried around.
Yeah.
And he's this talking head through all of it, so.
I knew you were going to betray me from the start, but you got your ass kicked, I'm sorry.
I did get my head, yeah. It usually happens that way. It's okay. Sultan, I don't have anything really
That's okay.
worked out, but I'll work that out for the next time. I need to get on that.
I'm just so honored.
I'm sorry, Blizzard.
I love you, and I love all the work you do. Tanami Faithful, everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for coming out. That's a big deal to me. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Welcome to the party. I love you too.
Hello again.
Hello again.
Alright, I have two questions for you.
Yes.
One, from Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy. How did you get into that character?
They showed me a picture and I went, hi. That's pretty much it. I mean, that was a character I didn't have any prep on either. They just showed me. I was mesmerized by how pretty that was. The animation was just astoundingly beautiful. And for the first, I remember on that game, that was one of the first things, the game in the show, one of the first things I did, I had to spend like 10 minutes just going, oh, I get to be him? Oh, man. So that's all it really took. And then they just said, we want a deep voice, and so do deep voice, and they go, no, deeper, deeper, deeper. And then I got to speak almost in a whisper. And for me personally, that was a really great character to do, because most of the things I do, I have to shout. And so to do the entire character like this, unless he's in some battle scene, actually it's like a warm-up exercise. It just feels good on the throat, and everything vibrates, and when you have the headphones on and you hear that voice coming back in your head, it's I fell in love with my own voice. You know? It's like, oh yeah, play that back, more me. I like the sound of me. Yeah.
And my second question is, can you please repeat the line that you said to me earlier today?
What did I say to you earlier today?
Where you can buy a cell phone.
Oh yeah. Do you know where I can buy a phone? There have been so many conversations. Forgive me for not remembering that. That was awesome. You are so cute.
Hello.
Hey.
You're one of the actors. I mean, you're a Guinness World Record holder, for God's sake.
I don't know how that happened, but thank you. Yeah.
So I have to ask, when do you ever, between your anime, video games, TV shows, commercials, conventions you attend, when do you ever get a chance to have some free time?
It's far and few between. Yeah, I mean, I take a lot of flack from my friends because people actually have a social life, and I don't have much of a social life. I work all the time, and I think that's what has kept me prolific. It's that, if I get auditions in, even if I've worked a 10-hour day, I'll come home and record some auditions in my home studio that night, and I'll work till 1, 2 in the morning if I have to get them all done. And also when auditions come in, particularly for video games, and this is probably why I've done so many games, is that they'll say, pick 3 of your favorite characters, and they'll send you like 30. I'll record all 30. Men, women, children, creatures, everything. I'll record all of them, and I'll say, you guys decide what you want to send to the producers. And a lot of the time, if they think it's good enough, they'll send all of it. And so I consider myself to be a blue-collar worker. I work really, really hard, and I think that's what's kept me prolific. And a lot of the voice actors who do the same.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So what does it take? Is this working? So what does it take to become a voice actor?
That's about a 5-hour question to answer. It's such a big question that, again, I've actually put a page on my website that says, how do I become a voice actor?
Oh, cool.
And if you go to that page, I'll do like a 1-page description of generally what it takes to become a voice actor, and then there's links, and there's a great link to a blog that D. Bradley Baker, who's one of my favorite voice actors in the world, he wrote this fantastic blog called iwannabeavoiceactor.com, I think it is, something like that. And there's a link to it there. And he has taken a couple of years of his vast knowledge, and he's distilled it all down into this really concise, step-by-step guide on what it takes to be a voice actor. There's also a book by Tara Platt and Yuri Lowenthal, also 2 of my favorite actors in the industry, called Voiceover Voice Actor, and also will guide you in the right direction and keep you from getting taken advantage of, which is the most important thing.
Cool.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Steve.
Hello.
I have 2 questions for you, if that's all right.
I have 3 answers.
All right. This regards your role of Amon in Legend of Korra.
Yes. Thank you. You've all been purified.
What was it like behind the scenes on Legend of Korra? For example, was there any sort of passionate brotherly bond between you and the voice of Amon?
A brotherly bond between me and the voice of Amon?
Yeah, anything like that. What kind of stuff went behind the scenes?
Yeah, we had a bromance. Wow. There there were so many great behind the scenes moments in that because I'm a fan of not only the genre that they created with Avatar, but working with really passionate people is what inspires me. And that was one of the most passionate groups of people I've ever seen, from the top all the way down at Nickelodeon. And working in Nickelodeon Studios is also a really exciting thing, just to be there in that vibe with all the incredible shows that have come before, and there's images all over the place and statues and stuff. As you're walking into the studio, it's an inspiring situation. And then to work with these unbelievable characters who they've taken years to develop, it's a humbling experience. And not so much my relationship with my voice with Amon, because that's just something that organically comes out, but the interaction between Amon and Tarlok and all these other incredible characters. It's a humbling experience. That's the only way I could really describe it. And the storytelling was so great. And at the end of my run with that, not to give any spoilers or anything, but the way they wrote my last episode on that season was so humbling that D. Bradley Baker, again, who played my brother on that, and I actually contacted each other afterward. I don't remember if we spoke on the phone, but we texted each other. And we were saying, I don't know about you, but I'm really upset and moved by how this all went down. And as though we had inhibited those characters and we were living that. And that doesn't happen very often on shows. I mean, I try to do that on a personal level, but it doesn't come up with the other actors, where we have a conversation as the characters, how deeply we were moved and how humbling it was to work on something of that kind of quality. So that's an amazing show, and continues to be an amazing show.
Yeah, I'm watching the second season. And my second question for you is, could you cleanse me of my impurity?
Absolutely.
Oh man, he's saying so much.
Now you have to stand up straight because there will be no more bending. Be careful. No bending allowed. Okay. He was a stage bender. I cured him of it.
Good evening, sir.
Hey.
I also have two questions.
Yes.
This first one is for a buddy of mine who's sitting in the stand because he got stuck watching the stunt.
Sorry.
Yes, unfortunate for him. His question is, have you ever had a dream where you have been one of your characters, and if so, have you ever woken up in character?
I don't know if I've had dreams about my characters, but I've had dreams about other voice actors' characters eating me. And I don't mean that in a filthy sense. You people are disgusting. Shame on you. It's funny. Fred Tatasciore is one of my dear friends, and he played the Incredible Hulk. For you guys who've seen anything with Hulk, it's usually Fred's voice. And he and I did Hulk Versus, where Hulk and Wolverine were fighting each other.
Oh yeah.
But in so many shows, they place Fred and I opposite each other because we both have deep voices. We both are willing to sweat and fight and whatever. We're two of the sweatiest actors in Hollywood. But it was really funny because there was a time when Fred and I were working opposite each other almost weekly on different shows. We'd never be in the room at the same time together. But he'd come into the studio and we'd be working on, I think I was working on Wolverine at the time, and he came in and he was working as Beast. And he comes in and he goes, "Dude, I just ate you." I said, he goes, "No, I was in this other studio on this game and my character just ate your character." Oh, cool. And so I think that's what sort of inspired the dreams, and I've had a few of those kind of dreams. And it's usually one of Fred's really disgusting characters that eats one of my really disgusting characters. So, yeah, it's a little troubling, but he's a good friend, so it's okay. If I'm providing nourishment for Fred, it's all good.
Quick side note, are you happy? There you go.
Okay, thanks for watching the stuff, dude. All right. Big hand for a stuffed watcher.
Would you please say for everyone, and I apologize right now, fans, would you please
Again, that's going to come back and haunt me. I'm sorry, YouTube.
All right, I also have two questions. So, everyone has. What's it like recording for the Ninja Storm games?
Storm. Was I in the Ninja Storm games?
Naruto.
Naruto. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. I know them. I don't know the names of the games as I'm going to record them. Who was I on that? Orochimaru? Yeah. It's kind of like working on the series, but just probably louder and faster. It's pretty much the same thing. The character is the character. So video games usually we have to do a lot of lines in a very short period of time. So it's like Orochimaru on speed, pretty much. Yeah, but they're fun. I love working on anything Naruto. It's been also a huge part of my career, and amazing to me that it just continues on forever. It's amazing. May it never die.
Second question. So Steve, what really is coming up next?
What was that? Oh, what's coming up next? The biggest things I'm working on, I'm not allowed to talk about yet. Yeah, I'm actually in a big film that's coming out next year, and I can't talk about it yet. And I'm in a big series that's coming out next year that I can't talk about yet. And they're going to be so awesome. So awesome. Yeah, I'm really not allowed to talk about anything that has not been officially released. So if it's already been announced, then I can talk about it. But I'm under contract. We sign these things called non-disclosure agreements, and there are big penalties if we violate that. So, they want to release things when they're released. But watch my Twitter feed and watch my website, and as soon as I'm able to talk about it, I will.
Hi. I've been a big fan of yours since day one. I just want to ask this question. Who do you think is the better man? Roger Smith or Bruce Wayne?
It's not for me to judge. Alfred. Or Dorothy. Maybe they should get together. Wouldn't that be a weird show? The Alfred and Dorothy show. Yeah.
What's up, Steve?
Hey, nothing, man. I'm just sitting here having some water.
Good to see that. So my question is this. Out of all the characters, all these crazy tough guys, from Spike, who's my all-time favorite character you voice has, to Wolverine, people from Gurren Lagann, Naruto, how did it feel to be someone like Jamie from Megas XLR?
Yeah! I can sum that up in one word. Nice! No, I love Megas XLR. It broke my heart that show didn't take off. We had a really secure fan base, I thought.
So good.
You guys loved it, right? Yeah, that's one of those shows that kind of gets caught up in the network thing. It was a Cartoon Network show, and brilliant minds behind it. So many great homages to anime fandom and fandom in general. And the guys behind it are just geniuses, and they're still working at a company called Titmouse, who's still doing incredible things. The Metalocalypse guys, and they do so many brilliant things over there. And I think the problem was they just didn't know where to put it. They didn't know what to do with it. I don't think they really understood the genre that we all love so much. And if that show gets redone at some point, and we're all still hoping it does, I think we'll know how to place it now, and we could actually give some direction if the network is willing to listen. Who knows if it'll even end up on that network again, so. But chicks definitely take giant robots, man, especially the green skin ones. Yeah, I love that show. Thanks for bringing that up. That's a happy memory.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Since you've been in so many, do you dig giant robots? And can you give us an It's Showtime?
I personally do dig giant robots, and it will always be Showtime! Hi.
I got two questions for you. One, I'm a hardcore G1 fan, and when I say that your Starscream is the top of my list, I honestly mean it. Wow. And with the character history on them, did they give you any sort of, this is what was done in the past, and how did you, was it the same thing, just organic, you just saw the character model and went with it?
Yeah. Well, the guys at Transformers, especially with this franchise, they know what they want to do with the character, and a lot of the guys who were around during G1, the production of G1, knew very well exactly what Chris Lauda's take was on it. And they wanted to do something completely different. They wanted to start dark with him and and sort of go up to those high notes that Chris was so famous for.
Oh yeah.
And so I came in with Starscream way down here, and it really worked with the character model. And I kind of worked a little bit against it. I saw the purple and the high heels, and I thought, but the way they described him to me was that he has this sort of interesting look to him, that it's going to be completely different than anything that has come before. But we also want to ensure that he is absolutely capable of doing some terrible destruction and dealing out some death. And so I had to be able to bring that to the character before, where Chris's take, I think, was a little more comedic all the way through. But I met Chris Lotta's daughter recently at one of Rob Paulson's live podcasts, and she's one of the I don't know if she's considered a host or whatever, but she does a lot of the live podcast stuff with him. And when I found out that that's who she was, I kind of went to my knees. I mean, I really honor the guys that have come before me, and if I get to pick up where a franchise left off, especially for someone who's passed, and like Chris Lotta has, his legacy just goes on forever. Being a G1 fan, there's a deep love and respect for these guys, and I have that. I revere them very highly. So
yeah, because when I definitely saw the character model and the high heels and everything, I was completely like, oh Lord, where are they doing the Starscream?
Yeah.
And that first episode when I heard you do the voice, it blew my mind.
Yeah, good. That was the goal. So thank you for saying that.
And my second question is on the far opposite side. I love the Deadpool game, and the game is insane. Was making the game as insane as the game itself? Because some of the stuff between you and Nolan North, the lines and everything, I couldn't stop laughing.
No, again, Nolan. Nolan's a genius. He's one of those guys that I would say is certifiable genius in a really dark and really funny way. I love everything Nolan does. We didn't get to work together in the same room. So for me personally, it wasn't as crazy because I was reacting off of stuff that either hadn't been recorded already or they would just play something for me. I may have worked a little bit with him on that. But what was even crazier was working with him on Hulk Versus. Because I did get to see some of the stuff that he did in that room, and that's where he originated that character. I got to see him create that from scratch. And it was genius. I mean, so much of his stuff is improv. He's one of these guys who can just take something and run for an hour with it, and it's all just gold. And so a lot of the stuff in the game, they just gave him some context and he ran with it. So in that sense, it was crazy. Just seeing what I have seen. I'm not a gamer, but I've seen a lot of his scenes in there. And just watching the scene where he's just pummeling the crap out of my face. There's something so satisfying about that. Probably more for him than me, but it just makes me happy whenever he's just pummeling the crap out of me. I love that. Thank you. Hello.
Are there any characters that you wish you could voice?
That I wish I could voice? Oh man, my career has been so great. I'm so grateful for everything that I've gotten to do that I'm not one of the guys who lusts after that character, I've said this before, that Batman's always been one of my favorite characters, and I have gotten to play Batman in small ways. I voiced Lego Batman, the original Lego Batman. He was nonverbal though, so through the whole game I'm just going, But for me, that was enough, because I knew I was Batman. I didn't care. And I don't have to do words. It was good. And I got to play Batman for a thing that Neil Kaplan, a great voice actor also, a great buddy of mine, did for the troops. We did this, I think it was a lost episode of Batman from one of the old series, that we recorded a whole episode and he cast me as Batman. So I got to play Batman for this whole thing. I don't know if it'll ever get aired anywhere. And I don't think it was actually made for submarine crews. It was going to be distributed out, but I think that the Navy put a kibosh on it for some reason. I don't know why, but I don't know if that'll ever see the light of day. But just getting to embody that during that time was enough for me. I don't care if it ever goes in my resume. So I'm that kind of actor, really, where I'm more about doing the performance for the sake of the performance and the character than I am about being famous for it or lusting after something that I don't have. I'm just grateful for what is. Thank you. I feel like I'm ignoring you guys over here. I'm not. I love all of you.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
I have one question and one request.
Yes.
I was wondering, so you're a big fan of Batman. I was wondering how you feel about Ben Affleck playing the new Batman.
Don't know. He hasn't done it yet. here's my take on all of that sort of thing, is that I feel like you should really give these guys a chance to flesh it out, do their thing, and then if you either like it or you don't like it. My personal take is that, I really hope he does a great job. I'm rooting for him. I really hope he does a great job. And I had the same feeling about the possibility of the Bebop movie being done. The live action. And we all know who was set to be cast. You guys know? Anybody know? What was that? You can say it out loud. No, it's okay. Yeah.
Ted Theodore Logan.
Yeah, that's the guy. Anyway, so there was a lot of concern about what he would do with something like that, because it's such an iconic series. And I met him in an airport, and I talked to him, and I actually came up to him as like a fanboy, and I said, dude, I really love your work, and I wanted to ask him a question about Cowboy Bebop. And he goes, well, what do you know about it? And I said, well, I play Spike in the original thing, and I heard that you've been attached to be the voice actor, or the actor for the movie, the on-camera actor for the movie. And he was so passionate about it. He had watched every episode. He was really into it. And the fans were going, no, don't do it, don't do it. But he was so passionate about it, and he could do the martial arts. And so I thought, well, why not give him a chance? Why not do it? And so, the proof is in the pudding, really. Let somebody do their thing and see where it goes. And so good luck, Ben. I hope he does a fantastic job, and I'm sure he will. I'm sure he's going to do a great job. Thank you for that.
And my request was, can you say Sodding Nug Humper in Ogren's voice?
I couldn't hear that. Say it again.
Can you say Sodding Nug Humper in Ogren's voice?
Ogren's voice? And what was, did you want me to say? I couldn't hear that. Saw that you know.
Sodding Nug Humper.
Sodding Nug Humper. Yeah, okay. Oh, Ogren. Ogren, do you guys know Ogren from Dragon Age? Yeah, he was drunk all the time. He's a dwarf, and he's drunk and had a very sad history. His wife left him for another woman. Anyway, so he had these things that he would call people, and one of them was Sodding Nug Humper. Thank you. Misery, vomit, and malt liquor reminds me of home. Yes.
And my friend David's in the audience, and he's sort of a fan of Orochimaru. I was hoping you'd say a line about Orochimaru to him.
Yes. To David?
Yeah.
Where's David?
Stand up.
David. Thank you for welcoming me to your village, David. I think I'll make it mine. I love Orochimaru. He kind of goes to those high, happy places, too.
Oh, see.
Hi.
Okay, so imagine that you're Nick Fury.
Nick Fury.
And you need to pick 6 characters that you voiced to form the Steve Avengers. Who are they?
6 characters that I voiced to become the Avengers as Nick Fury.
Yes.
Alright, line up. Let's see. We got Tom, Tank MC. Yeah, you'll do. Starscream. No, next. Let's see, that's 2, right? Yaki Doodle. I like Yaki. Yaki, Mr. Fury. Who else? Ghost Freak. You got some interesting powers. Let's see what you got, young man. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I'll take another, sir. Is that 4? Is that 4 now? Okay, who else? Leron. You'll just scare the hell out of the enemy, I think. Yeah, come on. Thank you. Do you have any nuts that need to be tightened? And let's see. No, I think I'm gonna pick somebody nobody's expecting. Maybe Gilman.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How's that for a team?
That was awesome. You're the best team ever.
Thank you. That's so random. You guys are random. Thank you for that. Wow, you made me think. That hurts. Hi.
Hiya. I have a question and a request for you.
Yes.
You did an interview with Crispin Freeman on his voice acting podcast.
Yes.
I really loved it, by the way.
I love Crispin. He's awesome, isn't he?
Really awesome.
Big round of applause for Crispin Freeman. Yeah. Thank you. I'm thanking them on behalf of you, Crispin.
You had mentioned, and I guess you guys both talked about this rather, how you kind of felt the voices, you kind of went by feeling. Is there any way you could expound on that? Because I thought that was interesting. That's usually what I do when I was in theater in high school, so I don't know, crazy.
Yeah, that's an interesting question, and I don't know if that's how they teach you to do it in theater. Is that what they taught? Yeah, that's probably the antithesis of what they taught you to do. Because I had no acting training, it's all I know. So I'm an intuitive kind of creative. Whatever I did, whether it was music or art or voice acting, I've always just kind of gone from the gut. I go with instinct. And so I do have to feel some, especially if it's an emotional scene, I'll have to dig deep and I'll have to find something that I can relate to with each character. Even if a character is this horrific, awful person, I have to find something inside that, I sort of think about what led this guy to that place in his life now. And then a character like Amon is a really good example because he seemed like he was awful, but then you go to his backstory and you see what created that person. And then it causes compassion. And so I start from the place of compassion and I go forward from there. And so I literally do feel it. I feel it almost on a cellular level. And then also to take it up to a physical level, I literally feel like, and I'm not sure if this is what you were speaking to, but I'll feel it on I'll feel it on a physical level for things like Wolverine is one of the most physically taxing characters for me. When I'm going, and I'm slicing through something, I'm literally swinging in the booth. I'm literally throwing those punches. I'm taking those hits. And in every video game or every show like that, they'll say, all right, now you're being electrocuted. Now you're being stabbed in the stomach and, the knife comes up. Now you're being, now you're getting a screwdriver to the throat, now to the head, now to the top of the head. And I will try to imagine what that feels like to get every single hit or impact. And to the point where at the end of the day, I come out feeling internally bruised. Where at the end of a screaming session, it's not my throat that's hurting, it's my lungs, it's my chest, it's my arms where those muscles have been flexing and I don't work out, So I feel like I've been through a battle. I literally feel like I've been through that emotionally and physically. I am spent and sometimes I'll have to take a day off the next day because it just will destroy me, especially if it's been something very emotionally draining. So I go there, and I think that to get a real performance, to get an organic performance, you have to do that as an actor, despite what they ever tell you in acting school.
Awesome. That's super impressive. And as for the request, my friend, she's in Connecticut and she can make it. Could you do something Orochimaru's?
Yes. What's her name?
Her name is Lucy.
Lucy, I want your body, but not for the reasons you're thinking. You're welcome. Sorry, honey. Just because she asked. But she's pretty hot because she's sitting down. Sorry.
Hi.
Hi.
All right, I have, let me see, 2 requests. Can you do something from Amon and then something from Zabuza?
Yes, Amon, I actually have something I have something fun from Amon, actually. I haven't done this in a while. Okay, you ready? Because I'm on fire. Right now, I'm on stage. I'm on Decora. I'm on TV. I'm on a roll. I'm on a quest for equality. I'm on thin ice. I'm on a boat. I'm on a bender. I'm on a tight schedule. Fave dessert, chocolate almonds. I'm unable to answer that. Can I get an almond, somebody? Guys, opening up a new spiritual center on Air Temple Island, simply called a monastery. Benders hate the first day of the week. You know why? Because it's a Monday. Favorite high-stakes game? A Monopoly. Why the mask? Amonimity, of course. I'm experiencing Amon joy. Try the Amon butter, it's delicious. I'm on YouTube. Favorite anime? Digimon. I'm lactose intolerant. Got any Amon milk? And finally, eek, it's a monster. I'm on her poop list now.
I have to say, that was my favorite thing because I am a pun freak.
Thank you. And then Zabuza, you said?
Yes.
God, I don't remember much from him. I created a vortex, but he created one first! I think that was one of his lines, right? Yeah. Ushisaru Tatsu, whatever that was, yeah. Thank you. Ushisaru Tatsu. I forgot what that, I used to know the whole hand sign thing too. I don't remember. Excellent.
Hello.
Hi.
First of all, I must say I am a very big fan of your work, Amon, Zabuza, etc. The list goes on.
Thank you.
I have one question and a request. Out of all the voices that you've done, which character do you like the most and do you think you can relate to?
They're like children. They're like fingers. Which one do you cut off and throw away? Sorry, Jared. I mean, it really, honestly, it's like choosing a body part. If somebody came up to you and said, well, I'm going to cut off your limbs, which is the one you like least.
Right.
You know, what would you do? What would you say? They're all important to me in a different way, so I can't pick favorites like that. I love the one the most that I'm doing right now, you know, so whatever I'm working on when I come home, that's it.
Okay. The request is, can you do a famous meme in the Orochimaru voice?
A famous meme? What is it?
Any kind.
Any famous meme?
Any famous meme.
Ooh, I don't know. Give me one. Grumpy Cat. Grumpy Cat is Orochimaru. Grumpy Cat's grumpy because he can. Can you picture Orochimaru actually doing that? That would be awesome. Somebody's going to animate that, I know.
Mr. Blum, I have two questions for you. Number one, how was it working on The Last of Us, the video game?
Awesome.
Did it really put you through any emotional nerve-wracking as you saw the game progress on?
Got my butt kicked so hard in that. That one was more physical for me than emotional, because I don't remember, I don't think I really had any really big roles in that. I was usually the guys that were hiding and coming out and doing terrible things and dying. So I did a lot of dying. I died probably more in that than a lot of video games. So it was one of those things that was just physically taxing, because, you know, it's usually, he's over there. Ah! You know, it was kind of that fast.
Next question. How was it working on Cowboy Bebop, and how did you develop Spike, and how did you feel acting as him?
Cowboy Bebop was a happy surprise in my career. It was one of those things that I didn't know how big it was going to be. I didn't know how iconic their character was. I was just terrified that I was doing a lead role in a show, period. I think it was my first lead role, where I actually really had to kind of carry it. I had to bring it to the party. And I didn't consider myself to be a voice actor yet. I didn't think I had paid enough dues. I was terrified. I didn't know the full context of the story. And so I relied on my director, Mary, for everything. Mary knew the entire context of the story. She dialed me in as to what this character's emotions really should be or should not be. And she actually pulled me back a lot with Spike. Spike I saw as this sort of an action figure kind of character who, he fought like the biggest badass I'd ever seen. And so I kind of played him a little big, and she would bring me back and brought the nuance into it. And so for me, that was like going to school. Working on Cowboy Bebop was really going to school, and I really learned to act on that show, probably more than any other show I worked on. And it's because I had great direction. She's an incredible director and a gifted actress herself, and I owe a lot to her for that. So, and the writer Mark Handler, for doing the incredible ADR, and the whole company for giving me a break, for trusting me with something that big. And the biggest surprise came many years later when you guys fell in love with the show, and I realized how many of you it affected, and that's when it really started sinking in that, oh my God, I'm working on something that's so much bigger than I am. And it's carried on all these years later. It's created a life of its own. So, yeah, thanks for bringing back happy memories, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a long drop. But it's slow motion, so it's okay.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a question and a request.
Yes.
Have you ever used your voice acting powers to order pizza?
Not pizza, but I've done it at fast food places before. And the thing is, when it's that far out of context, usually people just go, oh, it's another one of these idiots. I'm working for minimum wage, I just want to go home, just tell me your order, I don't care. Yeah, so it really doesn't work most places, honestly, unless I'm face to face with them and I can really get that intimate moment and I catch them off guard, then it really works. And usually the only time that works is in a grocery store when I'm standing in line, and I'll be speaking in my normal voice, and all of a sudden I'll see a head just gonna go, and I'll say something else to the cashier, and the head will go again, and they'll say, do I know you from somewhere? And I'll say, well, I'm a voice actor, I don't know, maybe you've heard something, and they say, and just the look of sheer, I don't know if they're peeing themselves, or I don't know what the reaction is at that point, so it's usually just fear on my part, and I just want to get out of there. The other time that it happens is in toy stores, and it's happened a couple times. And Jeremy, close your ears, you've heard this a million times. But I was in a Toys R Us once, and I was looking at one of my characters, and I think it was from Ben 10 or one of these shows, and I picked up my toy, and I'm kind of looking at it, and I love when my action figures come out. I have like 3 shelves of them. And there's this little kid looking at the same toy, and I don't remember what the character was, but I did it in the character voice, and I'm standing next to this kid, and I did something in the voice, and I don't know, just say it was Ben 10, and it was Ghost Freak, and I said, how are you today? And the kid looks over at me, and he's kind of half smiling, and the mother looks at me, and she goes, don't talk to my child. Get away, get away. And she thinks I'm being like this freak, And she grabs the kid's hand and drags him out of the aisle, and I'm saying, but I wanted to take a moment for him. Yeah, so that story is actually probably different because I have no memory, right, Jer? I probably told it completely differently the last time you heard it. He doesn't remember either. He doesn't care. More importantly, he doesn't care. But anyway, that's when it usually happens, is in those moments. It's not when I'm intentionally trying to do it. It's just when it sort of comes out.
And the request was, wait, is this thing on? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Could you recite this poem in Orochimaru's voice on my phone?
Sure, you got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Is it long? It's not like something from Homer or something, is it?
It's fairly short.
Okay. Do the whole Odyssey. We're gonna need a little more time. Alright, well, yeah, come on up here. As Orochimaru, huh? Did you write this?
No, I just found it on the internet and thought, hey, it sounded like Orochimaru,
Okay.
the guy who sort of raps.
Okay. Okay, this is pretty long. Is this the whole thing here?
I mean, you could, like, read it.
Yeah, I'll do it. Oh, this is gonna be creepy. Come, little children, come with me. Safe and happy you will be, away from home. Now let us run. With Hypnose, you'll have so much fun. Oh, little children, please don't cry. Hypno wouldn't hurt a fly. Be free to frolic, free to play. Come with me to a cave to stay. Don't tell your parents. Wow. I feel like I have to wash after that. Sorry, moms. I didn't mean it. He made me do it. Sasuke. I always want his body most. Hi.
Hi, I have a question and request. Have you ever cosplayed as one of your voice one of the characters that you voice?
Not yet. No.
Okay. And can you give my weird horse friend person a hug, please?
Yes. Come up here, horseman. All right, can you make it up the stairs safely? I don't want you to hurt yourself.
I like horses. Yeah! Thank you. Bye, horsey. My little pony. My little...
There's always at least one. Tara, eat your heart out, honey. I got my own personal pony. Hey.
I apologize in advance for doing a bit of a throwback here, but what was it like getting into the character role of Darsha in Wolfswing? And how do you think you enjoy those kind of roles? Like, do you enjoy doing those kind of characters?
It was pure paradise. I love doing those roles. He was dark. You weren't quite sure what the motivation was. But like a lot of my characters, I never know where they're going to go, and I didn't know the story until the end. And it was just lots to chew on. It was very well written. It was beautiful to look at on the screen. So much attention to detail, and the music was amazing. So just to work on anything of quality like that, I love working on it. And if the character has some meat to it, there's a little meat on the bone for me to chew on, it makes me very happy. Thank you.
Hey, Steve.
Hi.
I have a question. How was it for you to actually get in character from being, the overall badass that you were in Cowboy Bebop, being the bad guys and other monsters, to going from being someone kind of, how you say, more feminine as Leon Listener from Drawing Love?
It was liberating, hon. When you've spent a lot of time in the dark places, it's nice to let a little light in, right, Pony? Right? Yes?
It was so much fun. All I can say is it's fun. All of them are fun for different reasons, and I love going dark, and I love playing the badass because I never was one, especially as a kid. I got beat up a lot, I got bullied, and so for me to play really strong characters like that was sort of my comeuppance. It was my not revenge, but it was just a way where I sort of felt like I came into my own power. And playing Leron, oddly enough, I felt like I came into my own power in a whole different way, huh? Honestly, I think it takes guts for a company to put a character like that out there. And it's wonderful because there's something that everybody can relate to in each character, and I think it's wonderful when they give a character like that so much life and intelligence too. Leron was not a dumb guy, and he was not just fluff.
He wasn't just a pretty face on the show, hon. He's a badass robot mechanic.
And there's substance to that character, and so that really fills me up. If a character has substance to it, besides the comedy and besides the fun of it all, and bringing something different, it's very, very satisfying. So, I approach it like any other character. If there's something great in there, and I'll find it. I will find it, and I'll just bring it out as much as I can. And we did a whole different show. We did like a whole second show worth of dialogue with Leron, just because he was so
colorful. I said things that I didn't think I'd ever say. And it ended up on the cutting room floor.
And we could make a whole other show out of it. So I hope that comes to light at some point. It would be really fun. Thank you. I love Leron. Yeah. Awesome, man. Thank you.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
I got a question and a request. How did you like doing the voice of
X-Demon and Flame Dramon from the first American Digimon movie.
Wow, Flame Dramon, the Fire of Courage. Wow. That was my first foray. I think Flame Dramon was the first character I did for Digimon. It was the first thing I ever recorded for Digimon. I was so excited to be part of that show. A lot of the stuff I had done prior to that were shows where I was always the evil guy or a creature or something really awful. And to play characters that were heroic and on a kid show, a kid-friendly show that my kids could watch, that was really great for me. I just wanted to be able to bring something home they could watch and enjoy. And that was probably one of the first shows that you were able to watch, right, Jared? That's right. You did go to the sessions, and you weren't into the shows that I'd done before that, right? Yeah, I mean, I'd done a lot of things before that, and I tried to explain to him, these are shows that Daddy does that are really not appropriate for you. And some of the shows, I think I even tried to show you a couple things, and you went, no, not really. Can we watch whatever it was, Bugs Bunny or something? I don't know, whatever we were watching at the time. You just weren't interested. And Digimon was the first thing that my kids could watch, so it held a really special place for me. And then getting to carry that on in the later seasons as Guilmon and Paimon, and do all these really fun little characters. It was really fun for me. So I love that. That holds a very dear place in my heart.
Yeah, same here. Because I was a little kid when it came out, and my boyfriend, who actually stashed for this con, gave me the DVD because someone stole my VHS version.
Oh.
I was so glad I got it again because I was so obsessed with that movie.
It looked better and sound better on DVD anyway.
Well, yes it does.
Yeah, I have the old clamshell and it didn't, yeah, it was okay. It was good.
Can I get a hug from you?
Yes. Can we do that after though, just so we can keep the line moving? Do you mind? Just glomp me on the way out. Hi.
This is really insane because I didn't even know you were coming. And like 20 minutes ago, a friend of mine was like, oh, hey, the voice of Tom is going to be here. And I was just like, what? Are you serious? And like I freaked out and it took me like another 20 minutes to just find the panel room. And this is ridiculous that I'm talking to Tom right now. This is insane. And just one very small request. This is really odd. Can you say "Swiggy swag, what's in the bag" in the voice of Tom? A swiggy swag, what's in the bag?
A swiggy swag, what's in the bag?
Thank you.
Tsunami. I'm going to use that. If they'll let me say that on the air, I will. I'm writing that down. A swiggy swag, what's in the bag? Is that from something? A swiggy swag, what's in the bag? I'm going to write that down. I'm asking if I can say it for next week's show. Swag, what's in the bag? I'm right. Sorry, I'm a slow writer. In the bag. Okay, that's appropriate for Toonami, I think, right? Yeah, especially, so we got some surprises coming up. Are you guys watching Toonami? Yeah! Alright, we got some surprises coming up for y'all. Alright. Hi.
Question, request and actually a gift.
Oh, awesome. I like prizes.
Long time fan. Remember your voice, Tom, from the earlier Toonami, the original Toonami.
Thanks.
But my question is, what was it like developing the character of Roger Smith when you worked on Big O?
Roger Smith was really cool. I mean, he's very similar to my normal voice print. There wasn't really much development for me character-wise because it's all done. It had been done in Japanese before, and then the writers took it and ran with it. And my job was just to fill in the spaces with my stupid voice. So I wasn't charged with developing the character. I just kind of went with what was there. And that was a character that was really easy to step into just because he was cool and he spoke. It was just me, but cooler. So, and I had a giant robot. I mean, it was awesome.
Speaking of the giant robot, I've been wanting to hear this for years. Could you please call your Megadoos?
Call my Megadoos?
Yes, call Big O.
Okay. Well, we kind of did that. Did we do that in here? Oh, we did it in the other room, right? Okay. Ready? This is going to be loud. Big O! Showtime! Wow, swiggy swag, what's in the bag? Wow, look at that. That's awesome, man. Sanchez? Is her name?
Don't mind stand up.
She's here?
Yes, brother.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. And it says, bang. It says sorry for a crappy 5 minute. Really? It would take me like a month to do this, and I'd have to erase it and start over. That's awesome. I love artists. A great round of applause for artists. Without them, I'd have nothing to voice. Hi.
All right, I have a suggestion, a question, and a request.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of work.
My suggestion is, you see on YouTube all the time, this character reads this certain book. What I want to see you do, and you can do this on YouTube at any time, is Orochimaru reads 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh my God, I'd probably get sued. Probably so.
All right, and my question is, you were talking about how you do so many characters and that you sometimes talk to yourself.
Yes.
Do you ever have arguments with yourself between your characters?
Professionally, yes, because I have to.
Just like by yourself?
On screen, I've had too many times. By myself, it's probably not in character. It might be in character because I don't really listen to myself. Nor does anybody else usually listen to me and my family. No, Jer has once, I think. That one time in band camp. The conversations for me are usually, it's usually after I've done an audition or I've done a job, and I'll have this conversation with myself in the car, saying, oh, God, I could have done that so much better. No, it was okay. No, it really would have been better if I had said that thing. No, but that was what was written. And those kinds of voices are going off in my head all the time, and I think I just say them out loud. But I don't know for sure because I don't really listen. I don't pay attention. I just know that I am speaking out loud because I've been caught doing it. That's the only reason I know.
And my request is, you were talking about how you did Batman for like one episode. Can we get a sample of that?
I don't remember what I said, but yeah, I did that like 3 years ago, so I don't remember what I said. But it was, my Batman was basically just my voice, and I would kind of speak very softly, and sort of tailor it to Bruce Wayne when it was necessary, and Batman when he had to get a bit harder. So it's very similar to a lot of the stuff I've done before.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
All right, I have 2 questions.
Yes.
How high can you go? How low can you go? How sexy can you sound? How creepy can you sound?
That's 4 questions. How high can I go? Well, it's one time in high school. No. How high can I go vocally?
Yes.
Well, and sustain it, probably something like Poramon, which would be a falsetto sort of thing.
Poramon was kind of hard to do because I had to do him immediately after doing some kind of really gnarly
character. Low would probably be something like Grunt, where he'd be speaking down here, and they'd still pitch him even farther down below that. I get pretty low sometimes, usually when I'm doing like a Barry White type. That's when I go real low, because then I sort of open up the whole cavity, and it's coming from organs down there. And then what was it, creepy?
How creepy and how sexy?
How creepy can I go? Orochimaru. How sexy can I go? Orochimaru. Sexy, I don't know, that's up to you guys. Probably the most feedback I've gotten for sexy voice is probably Vincent. Just because he's way down there and he, is very soft-spoken. Carries a big thing.
My second question is, what is your favorite memory from doing Digimon?
The first time I got to do Guillemon.
Guillemon is one of my favorite characters just because it's a voice that I've been doing since I was really little. And I started doing him after Andy Kaufman. Are you guys familiar with Andy Kaufman?
Here is a guy who did this voice, this character called Latka, on this show a long time ago, way before your time.
But he would go on stage and he would speak like that for his whole comedy bit. He's this brilliant, crazy comedian.
And he would do that voice, and I could do that voice, and so I like to take that voice and put it in a character. And that was the first time I could put it in a character without that accent. And so I became Guillemon.
And Guillemon
was just this really sweet, little character that my kids could watch, so.
Made me happy. Just made me happy. Thank you.
Okay, I have two requests.
Yes.
Digimon was my favorite anime. It just got me into anime.
Oh, nice.
And I want you to say Terror Destroyer from Black War Greymon.
I don't know if I remember his voice. His voice was just me, but yelling, right? Black War Greymon. Was he kind of like that?
Yeah.
Was it Terrier Destroyer? Terror
Destroyer.
Terror Destroyer.
What's that?
Yeah. Terror Destroyer? And he yelled it, right?
Yeah.
God, I don't remember. Terror Destroyer! Get close? Okay.
Third request. I just want to fist bump.
Absolutely. Come on up, bump me. Yes. Thank you. Hi.
Okay, so Wolverine, you've done him in a lot of different forms, including the anime, and I know that it's all a little bit different each time they redo it, or the comic book, so how do you adjust, or do you just stay the same?
No, I adjust Wolverine depending on how the script is written, how the character is drawn. In the anime, he was actually a little bit harder version of Wolverine, so he was probably most similar to Hulk versus, where Wolverine was really feral, and so I could go really deep and dark with him. And then in the series, he would have those moments, in Wolverine and the X-Men, he would have those moments, and in the games, but he'd be all over the place. He could actually go a little bit lighter, and when he was in conversations, he'd speak more like a normal person, because you can't go talk this way all the time. And then in Superhero Squad, have you guys seen Superhero Squad?
Yeah.
Wolverine was like a chibi version of Wolverine. He was just a butthole. So it really depends on how the character is constructed, and I just go along with whatever they tell me to do. I'm a voice monkey, and they say dance, monkey, dance, and I just have to get in there and do it.
And can I hug you afterwards?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, Steve.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. So I remember you saying a few times, and I've heard this before from random shows to voice actors, everything, about how improv is a big part of it. And that's one of the things that I've always found really interesting. Is so much of you guys, the actors, is the characters.
Yes.
So is there anything that sticks out in your mind? Either there was a good example of that, a good story, or maybe something that you improv that you can't believe made the final cut?
Yes. GTO. That show, I walked into that room and usually we'll have what they call an ADR script, is where they have a writer that will take the original Japanese translation and they'll rewrite it so the lip flaps all work and so that it makes sense to an American audience. There's some conforming that has to be done. With that show, I don't know if they didn't have time or they were just too lazy or didn't have the budget. They basically gave us the Japanese translation and we ran with it. And so I was basically making up crap through the whole show. To the point where I didn't know if any of it made sense. I had to keep checking with the director, and I said, does that even hold the context of the show anymore? I don't even know. And I haven't seen it yet. But you guys have told me that it worked out really well. Now, the other thing I would say about improv, so I learned this improv skill on the spot because I had to. Otherwise, I would have been fired. I had to just sort of be able to come up with stuff. But the thing that scares me are things like what's going to happen here. I guess we're doing like what is it called? Whose line is it anime?
Yeah, there's a Who's Line panel tomorrow where it's an improv. They have 4 of the actors, and they are all making it up on the spot. They haven't seen any of anything.
I don't know what this entails, but that means me getting on stage and doing this, and I've never done that live. I mean, I did that for one con, and I failed miserably, I think. So I'm terrified of that. But there are other actors here who have had improv training, actual improv training, where they do this with a group. They do it with props. They do it on a stage. And so they get comfortable with doing that. For me, I'm going to be pooping my pants for the entire hour. So if you want to see that, wear a mask and enjoy. I'm scared. Yeah, please, I will be wearing Depends. Yes.
I got 2 questions.
Yes.
First was, do you remember doing Kyohei Kadota from Durarara?
Don't call me Dota, Gene.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you like that in the bloopers all the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I am.
The second one is, you talk about Nolan North. How do you feel about Troy Baker?
Hate that guy, God. No, I love Troy. Troy is one of these, he's an anomaly in the business. I don't know where he came from, but Troy is just this massive pile of talent. And brutally handsome. I hate him and love him so much. I do. No, Troy is, he's one of these guys is a genius. Troy is another genius, I would say. He comes in and he just kills it. And Arkham Origins, I think that's what it's called now, yeah? He plays the Joker, and it is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Perfect, spot-on Joker. Also, shout out to Roger Craig Smith, who's our new Batman. Amazing. But Troy hit the scene. He was working a lot, apparently, in Texas, and then he came out to LA, and it usually takes a while for people to get established in LA, and now he's working on the biggest things out there, and deservedly so. He's brilliant. Troy is brilliant, and he's a lot of fun to work with. He's very smart, and he's a great musician, too. He's got a band, he sings, he writes, he plays, he's good at everything, that bastard. He's really handsome, and I hate him. I love you, Troy. I hate you. Love you. Hate you. Hate you. Thank you.
Hey, Steve.
Hi.
Hey, you provided your voice to one of my favorite video games of all time, which is Jedi Outcast.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that goes back a ways.
Way back.
Yeah.
So I want to know, are there any more Star Wars projects in your future?
Hopefully. If there are, and I know about them, I couldn't tell you. But hopefully, yes. I love Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars.
Are you going to be in the movie or in the Star Wars Rebels?
If I knew and I told you now, I would get killed. There's a laser, there's a little red dot pointed on my forehead, and I will just disappear into a mist if I say anything. I hope that I'm involved in anything Star Wars. I love Star Wars.
I hope so too.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you.
No, that's what NCO was going to kill you for.
He had a lot of reasons to kill me. Hi.
I only have one request.
Yes.
I want you to look at my best friend over there. She's wearing orange, second row. Do you see her? She's got flowers in her hair.
I see you.
She loves Benson Valentine. And
Yes.
I really want you to tell her that she's the most amazing woman here.
And what is your name, my dear? I can't hear you. Samantha. Samantha, you are the most amazing woman I have ever seen.
Hello.
Hi.
I also just have one request. I too, like someone who came before me, also have a friend that couldn't be here, who just coincidentally also happens in the northeastern United States, so it's understandable why she couldn't be here. She is a huge Starscream fan. It can't really be understated. She's a Starscream. All of them.
Then I am a fan of hers.
So I'm wondering if you could. Her name is Meredith, by the way.
Hello, Meredith, by the
If
way.
you could, yeah. Hold on, let me switch to. Yeah. If you could say something to her in your Starscream voice.
Meredith, I'm extremely disappointed you're not here. When we meet, you owe me a pair of shoes.
My name is David.
Hi, David.
I have two requests and two questions. Well, I'll just have one question. First request, can you speak to me in a Orochimaru's voice?
Hello, David.
Okay, I want you to repeat these words. Give into the power of the cursed Mark.
What?
Give into the power of the cursed Mark. Okay. I can give you power.
Give in to the power of the curse, Mark. I can give you power.
No.
David.
Can you speak to me in a monk voice? Like, you like purify me or something? Yeah.
David, I like you exactly the way you are. However, I believe you need purification. Are you ready? All right. All right, are you ready? All right, come up here. On your knees. Say you're sorry for bending. You're bending right now. All right. Wait, I haven't purified you. Keep screaming, keep screaming, keep screaming. I like that. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. There we go. Now you've been cleansed. Some people are dirtier than others. Yes, afterwards. Okay. I think I've just been propositioned. Hey, today is my lucky day. I got 2 hugs and when can I see you? Okay, hi.
Hi. I was wondering, what is the weirdest request you've ever gotten from a fan?
That one just now? No, I've had a lot of really weird ones. I had 2 guys at a convention 2 years ago, I think, that were wearing a t-shirt with my face on it and a big I love you with a big old heart. And they followed me. They were at every panel and every signing, and they wanted me to have their baby, the 2 of them together. That was really weird. And then they gave me one of the t-shirts, and it's hanging in my closet now. It's still hanging because I'm afraid to like throw it away or burn it because I'm afraid some curse will fall upon me and and somehow they'll remotely impregnate me. So I'm a little concerned, but that was probably the weirdest. One of the weirdest, not the weirdest, but one of the weirdest. Signing babies' heads, that's always weird. It's bad parenting. Yeah.
I swear, I need an end of the line sign.
And you should have. Yeah, everybody give her a hand for making it to the end. All right, fire away, let me have it.
I got 2 requests. The first one is, can you please have a conversation between Zabuza and Orochimaru? Yes! Oh. Just a short one.
Oh, Zabuza. What? I've got your back. Apparently a lot of other people do too. And it hurts. You know what I was referring to, right?
My second one is, I don't know if you recognize me because my hair's shorter now, but at KatsuCon, I asked you to record a get well video for my then fiance.
Yeah.
That was me. He is at this con. He wants to see you tomorrow.
And he's well?
He is well. He's doing very well. He's on the second round of chemo. He is getting. Sunday is his birthday, and it marks pretty much a year since all the symptoms started. So this is a really special weekend for him. He wants to come and personally say thank you.
Please bring him up to me, will you?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you. Okay, and before I go, I just wanted to say thank you to you guys again for having me out here. And also, thank you to our incredible staff. Everyone staff, raise your hands. Everybody on staff, raise your hands. Be nice to these people because they are the reason this is happening. A lot of these guys are doing this for free, if not everybody. And it's incredible what they put together for all of us. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you around this weekend, okay?